We're going to be talking about next part to find out how ready is Home Affairs and what plans they have. Siyabonga Cwele, the minister, promising additional staff as well as longer operating hours at the country's ports of entry. His comments, of course, are coming ahead of that Easter long weekend partner. The move will help facilitate the movement of travelers, which usually spikes over this period as well. He's in the studio with us. That's the minister himself. Minister, good morning and thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Dan. And
Siyabonga, that you woke up very early. It's the only time I can get to call you by your first name without sounding rude, because I'm saying we are grateful that you are here so early in the morning.
Thank you.
Now seriously, are you ready for the Easter weekend, just broadly speaking, before we get into the details?
No, we're very ready. As you know, the Department of Home Affairs coordinates all other departments and entities operating at our port of entry. Our plan kicks off from tomorrow.
From tomorrow?
Yes, on 16, on Tuesday the 16th.
So what kind of things? We've said in the intro here that you're going to have longer hours, you're going to deploy more staff.
Yes, if you look, for instance, last year, over 1.2 million people move across our ports of entry during that period. But we may expect a little bit less because the school holidays are not synchronized with the Easter holiday like last year. But what we have done, we have increased, for instance, the Department of Home Affairs with about 234 staff members to assist at our port of entry. Department of Health has also increased some of their professional nurse staffs at the Bait Bridge. But all other departments like police, SARS, environmental, and health, others are not increasing. They've increased their overtime, and that will be sufficient to cover for the Easter holiday. Is
it mostly land borders? You've mentioned Bait Bridge. I'm thinking of Komati Port Libombo border with Mozambique, for example, and we've also got border to Botswana. I can't remember the name of that border post. Or is it also airports?
Yeah, it includes the airport. As you know, our busiest port of entry is OR Tambo International Airport, so we'll be increasing capacity there. But the next one is Bait Bridge, Libombo, Maseru, Fixback, and all those, and Osyuk. Those are the busiest ports which we have. For instance, some of them were increasing to 24-hour. Already Bait Bridge, Fixback and Maseru operate on 24-hour basis, but from the
Libombo as well.
Libombo, no, it doesn't operate 24. It closes midnight. But from the 17th to the 29th of April, it will operate.
What about Oshuk and the Ngwenya border with Swaziland? It's also very busy.
It is very busy. We are increasing to 24-hour from the 18th to the 21st. But last week I was already also there with the meeting with my counterpart, the minister, the princess from Eswatini. We are really looking in long term to increase our capacity there because it is also quite a critical border post between South Africa and Eswatini.
Before our brothers in Lesotho get upset, let's ask about that border post as well. Are you also making sure that those kind of border posts, they're not that busy compared to those we've mentioned, but that they are also covered?
In Lesotho, we have got two border posts which operate on a 24-hour basis. There's Maseru Bridge. It will continue to operate that, and Fixback. They are quite busy also this time. So we are trying to make the movement of people, because as you know, people go on holidays, but also move because of religious reason.
One of the biggest complaints I hear when you talk to our fellow Africans from Zimbabwe, the neighbors, they say there's a long queue in Bait Bridge. Are you trying to address that as well? Because even in Libombo, we've seen pictures around December, it gets crazy. People wait for hours and hours.
Yeah, we are increasing our staff. We're increasing our operating hours. The challenge with the queues sometimes is caused by poor traffic management. That's why we're working with Department of Transport and local municipality, because it's people who try and jump the queue. They go on opposite lanes. then they jam.
They block the road.
Then it blocks the road. That's what normally causes problem, both in Lebombo and but our traffic law enforcement officers are very ready to try and prevent that.
Okay. How about upgrading our system to be more technological? I mean, I tend to drive to Maputo now and again, quite a bit. And at Lebombo, you still have to get out of the car. Well, they check your car. You have to go in and queue inside. They stamp your passport. Can't we do this thing with the scanners? I mean, the world is technologically advanced, Minister.
There's one project we are working. It's called e-gates. Okay. But also working on one-stop border posts. So that if you have stopped on the South African side, you don't have to stop, say, on the Zimbabwean or Mozambican or Swatini side. That's a long-term project. But the new technology will really ease, but we just have to synchronize our technologies. That's what we are working at the moment. Yeah. We have captured most of the biometrics, because for those you need to capture your biometrics, you may just scan or put your fingerprint, or just look at your iris at your eye. That's what will make the flow much, much more easier.
And I guess it might also help you reduce alleged bribery that happens on our land border posts.
Yeah. The issue of crime at our border posts remains a concern, but we do operations which even detect our own public servants who may be doing wrong things, like double stamping or letting people who are not supposed to move, or goods which are not supposed to move across our border post.
So you are very much aware of the allegations of crime and bribery, and you're going to be doing something about it.
Yes, that's why we work with the police, we work with intelligence, but even those officers sometimes are corrupt. Yes. So that's why we have to do counter operations along this side at this time, so that we detect crime and prevent. The key thing is to let the people who are not criminals move much faster and easier through
and to enable or empower your officers to arrest those
who are illegal.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Finally, by when can we expect the technology? You said it's a long-term project.
It's a long-term project,
it can't be in another 10 years.
It's starting, for instance, in OR Tambo and some of the airports, but we also try it in some of the land posts, like on our side. We have improved the technology. We have increased the biometrics, as we have said. We are increasing that capacity. And, of course, we are working with National Treasury to try and get more resources. For instance, if you look at, Osyok, Ngwenya border posts, in terms of revenue, much as it's not the busiest, we get about 1.7 billion of revenue going through that border post. So economically and feasibility, we are looking at also in long term to increase it to 24 basis on a continuous basis.
Yeah, you won't go wrong if you get technology going. That will help you a lot.
No, it will. It will. It also reduce the levels of corruption.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you. Wish you well this Easter weekend. Hopefully your plans will bear, and also your long-term plans.
Lastly, we will really wish people to carry the correct documents. Have a passport. There's no point going to a port of entry without a passport. Yeah. We have eased the issue of children moving there, but for the children, for South African who are traveling with both parents, we don't need any extra document. But if you are not a parent, we do need a proof of consent from the parents.
Get your correct documentation with you as you approach a border. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Siyabonga Cwele, the Minister of Home Affairs.